Hey guys, Bobby Hughes here with Heritage Pride Custom Firearms and the Heritage Pride Homestead, and I just wanted to do a little 2015 garden update video. I haven't done any garden videos, mainly because I know a lot of people don't like to watch garden videos. So I know I like to watch them, but you know, usually it's one of the videos that I get the least amount of views on. So I don't typically do a lot of garden videos, but figured I'd do a little update video and show you guys what's going on around the homestead with our gardens. Alright guys, so this is back here in the mini farm area. Just recently put this grow bed in. When we made the modifications to the greenhouse, I had several railroad timbers left over, and so I just threw them out here. Didn't dig them out or level them or anything, just really rough, you know, just threw them down, staked them down to the ground with some rebar stakes, and then backfilled it with some compost and composted organic dirt, organic peat moss, some straw, and some chicken manure and pine shavings and stuff. So I don't expect these beds to really be ready for growing a lot of stuff this year, just because it'll take a while for the beds to get, I guess, acclimated and matured to the point where we can grow stuff. I've got a few things growing out here in these pots. The plan for this bed is a mini orchard. That's the mini fruit orchard. That's the plan for this this grow bed here. And so basically what I'm going to do is go on either end and put a stake in either end, run some wires across it for crawling vines. And so we've got some blackberries. There's one blackberry there, and those will kind of just grow up and across the wires back and forth. I have this thing's actually doing killer. I just planted this year, and it was that size when I planted it. And it's been in the pot for probably 8 weeks. So, I mean, it's just taken off like a weed. It's growing really fast. This is actually a blueberry. I think it's blueberries. Yeah, blueberry. Blueberry bush. It's a dwarf blueberry bush, so it'll only get probably about 4 or 5 feet high, and that's for blueberries. So we've got blackberries, blueberries. This is a dwarf cherry bush, not a cherry tree, a cherry bush, and it's not doing real hot. Cherries are really hard to grow in this area that I'm in here. And if you are lucky enough to get them to grow and produce, then you have to fight the birds for them. So that's a little cherry bush, dwarf cherry bush. And then this is actually a raspberry bush. And I think I probably waited too long to get this one potted or get it in dirt from when we bought it. It is or not blueberry. What did I say? Did I say blueberry again? It's raspberry bush. I think I probably waited too long, and so I doubt we're gonna see anything from this year. We'll probably just leave it. I may even go ahead and transplant it into the orchard bed whenever I get ready to transplant the other things, and we'll see if it comes back next year. The root system should still be good. It was dormant. It just may have missed the date for it to actually take off, and so may not have gotten that in time. But if not, maybe it'll come back next year. If not, we can get another one and put in. But like I said, I waited a little bit long. So that's the plan for this back bed and the progress of that stuff. So here's a look at the front Hugelkultur beds, and you can see we are having some good growing this year from these Hugelkultur beds. If you didn't see the last year's video of the Hugelkultur beds, you can check those out in the suggested videos. I'll throw it in there. But everything that I researched on the Hugelkultur beds basically said that the first year you wouldn't have really good results with Hugelkultur bed, but if you do everything right and you take care of the beds over the winter, the next year you'll have some really outstanding crops. And I mean, just look, they're gorgeous. That's my green beans, beets, and onions just going nuts, and it's really just some good growing. So doing really good there. Those are just Blue Lake bush beans. I had really good luck with those up in Wisconsin, and so I thought I would try them out. Last year I did the Kentucky pole beans, and I didn't have much luck with those. Those really didn't do good, and I wondered why. I thought maybe the Hugelkultur bed itself, being a first-year Hugelkultur bed, was probably why. But come to find out, I did some research on companion gardening or companion planting, and I had Kentucky pole beans planted with beets, and the beets nor the pole beans did worth a darn. So got to reading and come to find out pole beans and beets counteract each other, and they don't grow. They stunt each other's growth. But beets and bush beans are good companions. So and onions love onions, and garlic love beets. And I had never grown garlic before, don't really know how to grow garlic. I put some garlic in the ground, it started coming up, it looked really good, and then it got hot and it all died. Started reading about it, and come to find out I need to plant it in the fall and harvest it in the spring, or plant super early spring and harvest it before summer. So that's good to know. But my onions, those are some Dutch sweet onions. The onions are beets or Detroit Reds, the Blue Lake bush beans, and then we've also got some potatoes going there that were compost potatoes. We composted directly into the bed over the winter, and those are actually compost potatoes. They started growing, so we let them grow. And then we've got watermelon coming up here too, a watermelon vine right in here. And I'm afraid it's probably going to end up taking over, but I left the one in there. That was also a compost watermelon that turned into a watermelon vine, so I may try to redirect that thing over here somewhere. So I planted this bed probably about 8 to 10 weeks ago, I would say. And this bed I planted about 2 weeks ago. So, and it's just more Blue Lake bush beans, more red Detroit beets, and then nothing in here. Was going to put some carrots in there because the carrots did so good in this bed last year and never got around to it. So we've got more beets. And basically the reason why I did that, I have one small canner, and I don't want to be overloaded with stuff to can all at one time, because it has a tendency to go bad before I get it canned. So I spaced out the planting so that I could space out the harvest and space out my canning, so I can harvest these beans and can what I get, and then a couple weeks later I can harvest them again, can them again, and then those will probably be done. I'll be lucky to get 2 good harvests off of those, and then a couple weeks after that these will be ready to go. Same with the beets. I'm thinking that these 2 rows of beets will give me enough to do 1 good batch of pickled beets, and then I'll have the same to go over here. So it splits up my canning time. So overall, the Hugelkultur beds are doing really good this year. I'm pretty stoked about how well they're doing. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to do a quick little garden update video outside of the greenhouse, outside of the hydroponics and all that stuff, and show you that, you know, even though we're moving into the aquaponics and hydroponic systems, soil gardening or raised bed gardening is still something that I enjoy doing, and we can get a big bulk of stuff during the summer through that, and then kind of rely on the aquaponics and hydroponics during the winter when you can't grow in the soil. So that's pretty much it. So go ahead and don't forget to check out the suggested videos that I talked about for the Hugelkultur bed. Also, don't forget to click the little icon to subscribe if you're not subscribed to the Heritage Pride Firearms and Homestead channel. Also, don't forget to rate, and if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Until next time, guys, get out there, shoot some guns, be safe, and most importantly, have fun.